Hi, I'm Aneri Pradhan from Climatic Group, and I'm very excited to have Alexandra, who's Vice President of Tecloman Energy Storage.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex. Very honored to be invited to the show.
Amazing. And so Tecloman has a huge presence at this year's Intersolar. So what are your key priorities for this year?
I think the key priority right now is to also solidation of our team in Europe, because we see that the trend of the market is still growing very strong. So we see like the Wild West, we call Wild East, because the development of the utility size projects are going crazy. But the concern is constant, because the owners of the project, they're concerning about, okay, will you be able to do the maintenance? Will you be able to help us to operate? So that's why I said top priority is to gain the trust from our client, to solidify our team right here based in Europe. Which local team is easier to be reached, and they can travel around the whole European market.
Awesome. And on the topic of price pressure, do you believe energy storage is becoming more of a commodity market, or will differentiation still remain in place?
From the very beginning, very beginning, when was set up like Tecloman back in 2017, we started to do the cell manufacturer. We started as a cell manufacturer, and back then the standard product is 50 ampere hour for the lithium phosphate, but we do 75. So we are like we do that a little bit. The thing is that approaching like 2018, cattle launched like 280. So since then, I recognize it is a commodity. The sales is like commodity. We have a strong real estate industry background. So in that industry, I use that a metaphor, like metaphoric saying that the cells are like the concrete. Right? The cells are like the concrete part of the commodity. Yeah. So the pressure is always here, but from the very beginning that we see ourselves not only just product sellers, right? We try to differentiate it from business model, from our solution. So I was joking from Felicia, we should change the slogan that we customize to empower the energy solution to the world. Is that we customize is special actually in this hall, in this whole exhibition, because we stand out in this field. This year you see so many stands and the sandbox. They're showing like mining. They're showing like a data center. But come on, we showed it 3 years ago. If you check our sandbox, we were there, and we delivered actually the very first microgrid in Congo. Yeah, DRC. We provided with the mining and with the seamless switching. So I think we have very strong intuition, like where to go. And last year also we delivered our service to a petroleum company as oil service, or it's about supplying the energy supply. And back then the traditional field is in diesel generation, and you see what's happening in the world, and it's being heavily impacted. Last month I was in Indonesia, I was in Malaysia, also Vietnam. They are affected badly from Hormuz Strait. It's a sad news, because people are crazy, because the fluctuation is too high because of the diesel price. Yeah. So I think since the very beginning, when we talked about ESG and sustainability, we're talking about sustainability and consistency, which give you security, right? Which give you like insurance, a guarantee that you have your own energy without infection. So I think the story goes on, because basically renewable energy solution is giving you options to be independent from the outer world. We were joking about building bunkers, right? And but it's true. Like so many people are looking into that solution, even like in Canada or like in Germany.
Yeah. So you just named so many countries, and even behind us, like there's so many countries that you guys are operating in.
Yeah.
But we're in Munich. So what is your European strategy?
Right now, European strategy is that, as I mentioned, first is to solidify our team here, because we want to have our presence local here. So you see that we have our Teclo Talk. We started like 2 years ago. Because we were attending so many events, and the key reason is that we want to make friends, local friends here, and we want to root it here in European continent, right? So ecosystem is what we looking for. And as I was participating in those events, I was thinking, hey, I also got a lot of friends, also Felicia. So why not we make our own events and people come here and we have a booth. Anyways, we have a booth, right? So we should let our friends, new friends coming, listen to our brilliant network, and everybody have their own strengths. So we should share and switch, and compensate each other. So I think first the priority is to solidify our team. Secondly, is that we want to, because I see that the market is changing. I think 4 years ago, 2022, during after COVID, just after COVID, I arrived in Munich, and we were seeking for like local partners, and we were giving solutions to salad farm, but they only supply to Michelin restaurants, local here. Okay, so we find out that it's a hard thing if we want to initiate it, because we are just a manufacturer back then, right? So we think in the end, what we gotta bring is the service. It's not just the product. And 4 years later, right now, yes, we have done our EPC plus F model. We have done our turnkey solutions, and now we're also heading to like also we have to collaborate, right? So to supply like energy service.
Yeah. No, I think it's so smart that you guys have developed this like convening and communication strategy around it, because a lot of battery companies don't do that. They still have websites that look like they're from 1995, and you're just like, you gotta also know how to bring people to communicate effectively. You guys have done a really good job of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's important because the market is co-created.
Yeah.
Like the demand is there, but you have to know what is the real demand. Like sometimes like our partner is telling what is lithium phosphate cells, but come on, the end user doesn't care about that. They want to make sure that they have a solid supply of their energy service.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, what market trends are investors and customers focusing on, and what are they not paying enough attention to?
I am learning, because there are a lot of end customers, and there are a lot of different stakeholders and different end clients in this market. I mean, like in Europe, right? So, you draw your attention according to the resources and according to your own resources. So I think right now, many of the customers, I would say from the development side, they have recognized that buying battery is not just buying battery. It's about the constancy of how your system gotta work for the whole period, whole life cycle. So that's why the assets idea is bringing up. And for our team, we are also learning, and we're also listening from our client that like what should we be focused. And I think the very important thing is that we have to focus on the quality, the consistency throughout the whole life circle, and how do we guarantee that. So back to our strategy to solidify our team in Europe, because we have to talk constantly with our client, even after like the purchase, right? We have the guarantee periods, and we keep the talking consistent and high frequency, so we know what's going on. And now it's even like climate change, at the moment. So I noticed that actually Munich this year is much hotter, and many bad news as well, like the Deutsche Bahn is stopped. And, well, I'm not surprised, but I mean, like maybe that's the part that they should pay more attention, right? So, so actually, I imagine it's not only just an operational dismiss. It's more about do they have enough energy, to supply all this air conditioning. If I also heard that some of the trains also stop the air conditioning supply.
Yes.
I think it's definitely an energy problem.
To me.
Yeah. Oh, is it yesterday?
Yeah, I was. They shut down my compartment, so there's no air conditioning. So I had no seat.
I think that's definitely an energy problem,
It's
right?
an energy
So
problem.
they should. Okay, I think the operator should listen to their customer, like you, right? So,
Right.
hey guys, we want some cool air, like in the train. I mean, like if you go to Asia, I wouldn't mention China though, because the others are also developing super fast.
Right.
And in all the compartments, they will say, okay, they have strong cooling in this compartment. The other has light cooling. So you can even choose your like a compartment to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, well, back then we always look up to Germany. We want to learn to the infrastructure. We're still doing that because the whole city is beautiful. It's well designed. But I think we should pay attention to the maintenance and to the upgrade of the infrastructure. And we would love to also participate into the solution wise.
Yeah, that's a great answer, and I think maintenance has always been kind of overlooked by the new energy sector. at
Yes,
large.
actually, it's in every
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
It's hard. That's why I think
Yeah.
when you talk about the inspections and the monitoring from the government, that make sure that all this money is not wasted.
Yeah.
You should look at the maintenance part. When I go to South Africa, we notice that many of the power towers
Yeah.
are red.
Right.
So they are rusted.
Yeah.
But their life cycle is designed for a very long time, but they're not, really maintained well.
Okay. And when you look at the next phase of growth in BESS, what distinguishes Tecloman from its competitors? And I know you like to think of competition more as partnership, so you can elaborate.
Thank you. Actually, from our point of view, well, I think yes, as I mentioned, we think of partnership more, and I think it's not right now. It's not about competing the price. It's about there are so many opportunities. As I mentioned, although Europe is a slow market, but not the other markets. Some of the market are very fast market and strong demand. As some of the policy are prone to have punishment on the capacity over usage. So we are targeting at all those markets to make friends. Why make friends? Because you cannot do everything by yourself, right? We're not Costco.
Yeah.
Even Costco don't do everything by themselves, right? We're
Right.
a big distributor. So for us, we want to try to find the best partners we can work together to convert those projects. Yeah. So conversion rate is very important, and we're not trying to eat everything by ourselves.
So, what excites you the most about the future of energy storage?
I think it's because my excitement is that the whole energy transition is getting more and more strong, like the drive, because I see that the world is changing very fast. Now also the energy crisis, right? So about 5 years ago, we were talking about energy independency. We're joking about building bunkers. We're joking about climate change, but it's not a joke anymore. It's reality. So, like it is excitement from the industry point of view, but it is also like a man's mindset to get prepared for what's may coming. Because under this condition, everything is changing. We get a lot of surprise. For example, like flooding, and this that all those disasters are part of the climate change. Yeah. And we have to get prepared, and that's why I feel it's even more important to that Tecloman is engaged into the energy industry, because what we excel is customization. We are like fast adopter, and we also can identify like critical energy issues, and we can provide customized solutions. So that's why we're excited, because I think we are made for this.
Yeah.
It's a crisis and it's also opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're positioned well because BESS is usually considered as a mitigation tool to reduce emissions and dependency on fossil fuels. But then it's also an adaptation tool, because as the weather gets hotter, people need more energy to cool, and then batteries are part of that solution. So it's like impacted both directions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, awesome. Alexandra, it was so nice talking to you. I hope you have a wonderful time at Interstellar.
Thank you so much for coming to us, and it's our great honor to have you, our booth, because you brought so many bright insights, and also you help us to connect, more friends.
Of course. Love Tecloman.